So here is another problem to find maximum minimum using derivatives. Find two positive numbers whose product is 200 and whose sum of one number and twice the second number is a minimum. So let us say that the two numbers are x and y. So let the numbers be x and y, right? Now it says two positive, so that means both x and y are greater than 0, correct? Whose product is 200, that means x times y equals to 200. We get one of the equations. And whose sum of one number and twice the second number is minimum. That means the other one is sum of one number, that is x, plus twice the second number plus 2y. We want to show that this sum is minimum. So that is what the question is. Now we have two variables x and y. Let's write them in one variable and then solve the equation. So x times y equals 200. That means we can say that we have y equals to, we can write y equals to 200 divided by x. Right? So we get all these relations here. Now we'll use these relations and then find the minimum sum. So since we have to find minimum sum, let's start with this equation. So we have sum equals to x plus 2y, x plus 2 times y. Instead of y, we can write 200 divided by x, right? So we get 2 times 200 divided by x. Now to find minimum, we need to find the derivative of this function and get the critical point. So s dash will be equals to, let's differentiate with respect to x, right? So we can also write ds over dx so that we know what we are differentiating with respect to. So that gives us 1 derivative of this, and here it is 400. Now x to the power of minus 1. You could think like this or use, so it's better to use a product rule here. We can always think that this is 400 x to the power of minus 1. So in that case it will be minus, right, 400 over x squared. Or you can use quotient rule where denominator square is x squared, derivative like of the first term is 0, then minus derivative of this, which is minus 1. So that's how you get this negative term, right? So 1 minus 400 over x squared. Now for critical point, this should be equals to 0. So we can say for critical point, let me write down here critical point, ds over dx should be equals to 0, right? So that means we have 1 minus 400 over x squared equals to 0. So let's solve for this and find the value of x. So that means 400 over x squared equals to 1. Now we can cross multiply and get the value of x. So we get x equals to square root of 400. Now in this case, since the numbers are positive, we are only taking the positive root, right? So that gives us a value of 20. Square root of 400 is 20. If x is 20, then what is the value of y? Y is equals to 200 over 20, right? That is 10. So the y value is 10. Now we have to show that this is a minimum value. How can you show that? So let's try to do that part now. So we did get our points and we say, well, critical numbers are x equals to 20 and y equals to 10. Now for showing that this is minimum, we can do the first derivative check. That is ds over dx should be negative. Well, if we analyze this and we have a critical point here, in our case the critical point is x equals to 20, right? And ds over dx is basically 1 minus 400 over x squared. That is ds over dx, correct? If we take a point which is less than 20, so let us take a point less than 20. So if it is less than 20, in that case 400 over x squared is going to be more than 20, right? More than 1, is that okay? So if I take a point 19, then see 20 square will make it 0. 20 square is 400. If the denominator is less than 400, we get a number which is more than 1, right? So in that case, it will be negative. So you can plug it in and check. If you take a test point more than 20, in that case 400 over, let's say 21, 400 over 21 square is going to be lesser than 1 and you get a positive result. So it will be positive. Since the rate of change of the sum changes from negative to positive, we have a minimum here. Correct? So you can actually take 2 points, which is, let's say, 21 and 19, plug it in and show your result. So when you plug it in, you'll get a negative value. So what we are trying to say here is that if x is less than 20, in that case s dash is negative, less than 0. If x is greater than 20, in that case s dash is greater than 0, right? So that gives you that we have a minimum at the critical point, correct? And therefore we can write down our answer as the points are x is equals to 20 and y equals to 10. So the two positive numbers are 20 and 10. So that gives us the answer. Thank you.